So hello everyone. It's very nice to see you. Actually, that there's so many of you, and we will slowly start this whole thing up. And so, really, I hope that both we and you can get the most out of this experience today in this lovely Saturday morning. And I like this time we're doing it a bit different. This whole open day thing. We want to focus on people's stories rather than advertising our school and everything, just come here. We want to tell you why are we actually here and how did this all happen and why did it happen. So I will start with my story. Well, I'm originally from this small town of Smiltene, and I was studying there until 9th grade, and then my teacher said that I need to look for something new in my life, so try to go to a different school. So all my life decisions have been made basically with this YOLO kind of a moment. And well, she said, hey, there's this new school, RTU Engineering High School, and you should try getting in. And well, I tried. I failed the first time through the Olympiad, succeeded the second time, got in, and then 12th grade was coming around, and again I had to choose which university to go to. And again, like one of my classmates said, hey, well, there's RBS, and they have this amazing Learn Camp, so why don't you join and see how it goes? And so I joined, and I understood that this might actually be the place for me, and well, now I'm here. So for the future, I don't know what my decision's going to be. Probably also someone will tell, hey, there's this job position, and I will be like, okay, YOLO. But yeah, I'm not saying that you should base all your life decisions on YOLO basis, but sometimes it's actually good to take risks and maybe do something that you don't think you normally would. But it really can bring out some special moments in life. Like if I would really think about it very much, I don't think I would be here. I don't think I would actually be in Riga. So maybe just sometimes risk something to drink the champagne. And now, I want to tell you that in those papers that you have in front of you, there's also like a sheet that you should fill out throughout the day about this open day, and then leave it on your desk as you're going away. I'll try to remind you once again when we're more into this, but just see through the paper. Some of you have already done that, and there is a form you should fill out. And of course, since this is RBS, we can't really do something without trying to network first. So we will start with a kind of an icebreaker game where also the best ones will have some prizes. I'm not going to say what exactly, but the task for you is we will put 5 minutes on the clock, and you have to get as many people's names around you as you can and something special about them. So you won't just do it with your friends, because you'll probably have like not more than 5 friends here, but 5 minutes is more than enough to get a lot more. That wasn't a burn, it's just whatever. Yeah, so try to be the best ones. We have some cool prizes, and the 5 minutes will start in a short bit. And you can already scout out who you're going to try to talk to. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, their word, their name, and one special thing about them. Yeah, also you should write down the names and the special things because you might forget. Okay, got it? Cool. You have 3 minutes left. Two minutes left, and I see some people are not talking, so you should step up your game. Last minute, everyone. Ten seconds, everyone. And time's up. Please, everyone, return to your seats. Stop talking. Enough networking for today. Everyone back to their seats, please. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, now how do you think you did? Like, with this is very good, this is like, could have been better, but it's also kind of good, and this is like very bad. Everyone raised your... Okay, sounds kind of good. Okay, so to actually find out who are the winners, let's do it like this. So I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and on go, everyone yell how many people you got. So count, how many do you have? And hopefully you can count. That'll come in handy in this school. So now everyone's ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Amazing. No idea what you said. So who has 15? Anyone has 15? Okay, 16? 17? Raise your hand very high. Okay. 18? Does anyone have more than 18? So you have 17. Anyone more than 18? How much you have? Okay. So anyone else got more than that or something in between? because we'll award the first 3 places. So it's this girl, that guy, and someone else. Oh, I didn't know about that. I thought we will just give away merchandise. Okay, so 17. Did someone have 17? You had 17. 16. 15. Okay, so those are the 3 first places. Maybe you can come up here so we can also take a picture with the most networking people. Give a round of applause for them. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, it's time for some little bit of business. Like, it's still gonna be fun, but there has to be also some formal stuff. So I would like to invite Claudio, the Bachelor Program Director, to tell you something about what are actually the differences between BBA and BITL, and something else that he wants to tell. So Claudio, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I understand we need gifts now to make the people get attentive to us. So I have one. For the first one that will do a question today, I will give you a little present from my side. And you can see there the picture of the first day in the school. This is why people are smiling still. And so that's how we start the... It works, yeah. So because we are recording as well. So the something is very important for RBS. It's an American school. We try to bring the American culture here, and is the community. Okay, network. You can call it networking, but it's even more than that. It's to build really very strong ties between you, and this is why, regardless whether you decide to come to RBS or not, just take at least one piece of advice from me, so that whatever you choose, please, full-time education. So it doesn't matter whether you come here or you go to other university, you stay here or you go abroad, but whatever you choose, take as a red line. It has to be a college, a university that force you, help you to stay 100% into your studies. During the next 3-4 years, at your age, the most important thing you have is your brain, your energy, and the best investment you can do is on that, on building your intellectual capacity, on building. And if you go and you study in a university that doesn't require from you to be 100% into it, to be in the community, have nice events with the other students, with the professors, so you are going to lose the best time of your life. So, and remember that companies might be happy welcoming you next year to work with them for 500 euros, okay? But after 4 years, you won't be the best for them, okay? So, and they will not be so loyal. So if you invest in your intellectual capacity, in your brain, in your network, so you will be able to set the rules to the companies. So you are the one that are going to dominate the job market. So it is not true, there is no evidence that working and studying during your time makes sense. Okay? Regardless of what people say. All people that have been very successful, they have studied a lot during your age. Some of them got paper, some of them didn't get paper, but they studied anyway. Okay, when people talk about Steve Jobs and Zuckerberg and this type of guys and think, oh, they were dropouts. Well, technically they were, but the reality is they went to the best high schools in town. They got a lot of education during their childhood, and they spent 1-2 years in the best universities in the world, what made them up to be extremely educated. Okay, so education is the best thing you can have. So whatever. So that's the only piece of advice, coming here or not. I was on Thursday in Harvard, and one of the things they have in the wall is a script of the first Microsoft, the first program that eventually became the software of Microsoft. With this, it was an assignment of Bill Gates and Paulson. It was a university assignment. It was done in a university. Okay. Now, bad university is bad investment, but good university is the best investment you can have. Okay. Now, a little bit about RBS. It's a beautiful story. So RBS is part of the Riga Technical University. Okay, that's very important for you and for our students, for professors as well, because Riga Technical University is the largest, or well, maybe University of Latvia some years is the largest in the country, and it's the oldest university in the country. So whenever you go outside Latvia and you say you work for or you study in the Riga Technical University, people invite you for a coffee. Okay, so it's important to be part of a large university. Okay, so and Riga Business School started as a project in 1990 by the United States government within the Riga Technical University to bring the best Western education to Baltics. That was the origin. It was co-funded by the Riga Technical University, the University of Ottawa, and the University at Buffalo, with which we have a very, very close cooperation. Okay. So with time, the University of Latvia now, so together with the RBS and the Riga Technical, we established the Beetle program. Okay. So joining the crew, and the best business school in the Scandinavia, that is not the Stockholm School of Economics, by the way, the BI. So they established with us the BBA, that is the dual degree. So it's a very powerful combination. Okay, so we don't go into this cheap exchange student type of programs. So these are very solid dual degree. Now it's triple degree programs. So with very solid partners with whom we work very closely. Okay, so this is a very important institution. It's very small, but it's very important. And at the same time, I hope it's very cozy as well. Okay. Oh, this is not so important, but my colleagues wanted. We were arguing how many languages I speak. I speak the Latvian and Spanish, is my mother tongue, of course. Speak some Russian as well. And then I guess they put 6. I told them I don't know which are the other 2, so I will kill them. But of course, I speak some Italian because my Spanish root and Italian roots. So what I have been working quite a lot is in youth development. That's the core of what I have been done for most. So my main area where I am an expert is in developing young people. Okay. So I have created many social ventures that these are companies or organizations that have mainly a social goal. Servant leadership is very technical, but when you come here and you study with me, you will understand what it is. It's a way of how leaders make followers fulfill great dreams, and it's a school, it's a technical, it's a research interest. So in the future, if you become a doctor and you want to work with me, so you have to be around this issue. And I have been working also for the United Nations in something called poverty alleviation through business school. So it's how we can use business schools. There are 15,000 business schools in the world, and there are a lot of people getting richer, and a lot of people getting poorer. So how do we do that the business school help the most poor people to become, to be more equal. Okay, and these are some of my positions as well, but I'm not sure that is really too interesting for you. Okay, now, what's the reality? The reality is that machines, okay, automation, AI, whatever you want to call it, are killing jobs, but are creating new jobs opportunities. Okay, so and you can look. So what happens with the people that were cashiers in supermarkets, or the people delivering mail, yeah, so or even the guys working in factories. So the guys taking the calls for the taxis, right? So all those jobs and many more are disappearing. Okay, accountants, I don't know why they still are there. Most of lawyers will disappear. So lawyers is one of the professions that will be fully automated at a certain level. And one of the things that happened, I will make this graph more simple for you, is as poor the country is, GDP is the wealth of the country, how it's measured per person. As poor the country is, more jobs will be automatized. Why do you think that? Why could that happen? Look Estonia, and I think we might be a little bit here. Okay, so we might be here probably. I'm not sure, but we might be here. So why do you think as poor the country, more the risk that the jobs will be replaced? Yeah, please.
Well, I think that in our country, the education is much lower, so that robots will do a better job than the people who are not educated.
That's a very good argument. That's a very good. Any other? Yes, please.
Those countries.
Could you please speak in microphone or?
Because we are recording. Okay. Sorry for that. Could you pass? Okay. Say your name when you speak. Yeah. Dimitris. I know, but I don't know. Okay, go on.
I think that those countries just don't have a lot of like enough resources and money for salaries for those people, so they automate all the process so that they don't pay people.
There is more. That's another good reason. Actually, I was just in the U.S. and one of the shops I was surprised. There were people scanning the luggage in the airport by hand. In the United States, in Chicago airport. Why they do that if the machine can do it? Well, they can pay for that. Maybe that is the reason. Maybe there are safety reasons. I don't know. But there could be several reasons. One more opinion? One another reason probably is that in more poor countries, you have less sophisticated jobs. Right? So these are the jobs you can replace easier. Okay? But with all that said, is the more as best educated you are, less is the risk of you losing your job in the future. And since I graduated, I studied finance at the beginning. So I left finance because I didn't like it too much. But I studied finance. But the most important part in my education, it was that they helped me to understand how to think. So for me, it was easier to transform my education and my jobs in the future. Okay? Another thing, but again, automatization is not an enemy of human beings, but automatization is a fact. Okay? And the reality is, if you look at who are the guys that are in less risk of losing their jobs, these are jobs that require much more education. Welcome. They require much more education, and they require the capacity to talk to people. Machines will never, regardless of Microsoft saying that they are trying to replace empathy, but the machines will never have the human touch and the warmth. Okay? So if you look at here, and these are the positions we are preparing people for these positions. So here as well. So those positions will have less risk of job lost. I don't think you can see this graph properly, but maybe you have the presentation with you, and you can Google that afterwards. So you can go and write Cognizant 2018, the shop of the future. And they predict which are the different positions that will be created during the next 10 years. And what I want you to say is that those positions have two characteristics. They are more focused on tech, on technology, and they are more focused on people. So you need both. You need a people aspect and you need a tech aspect. Okay? And that's what we are trying to do in RBS. That's why now RBS has a pure business degree program and you have a pure engineering program. But when you study in the engineering program, you have a lot of business and humanities in. And when you study in the business program, you have a lot of technology inside. So you can go, leaning more toward technology or leaning more toward business, but you will have both. Because the shops of the future are where you are saving both. I'll give you an example. Again, I was in the airport, and there were all signs where to pick up the Uber car. It was impossible to find the place, and I was in a hurry. And the app showed me, your guy is coming to pick you up, but the sign in the airport were absolutely awful. So there was no way how to find the place. So I finally needed people, staff from the airport, to help me and bringing me to this very place where the car was going to pick me up. So you need a human factor, regardless how advanced the technology is. Now, when you finish your program, whatever it is, you will be required these three things. A lot of technical knowledge. So you need to study. Okay? IT, accounting, finance, human resources, psychology. So you really need to know the stuff. And that is something you only get studying hard, spending hours in the library, at home, wherever you study well. And that's why when you go to the best university in the world today, the libraries are full even on Saturday evening. And if you don't do that, the Chinese will take you over. Because they speak. I was there studying during teaching 3 weeks last summer, and I tell you, these guys are working very hard. Their English is perfect, and they can work wherever they want. And with the work ethic level they have, I want them. Okay? So you need to study, and that takes a lot of time. Books, Wikipedia, Google, whatever you use to study, it doesn't matter, but you need to know the stuff. Okay? You need to know the stuff. You need to know how to solve problems. So because if you are a super theoretical guy, but you don't know, how to fix it, you will need, and this is why we focus education that in every course you have here, and I'm pushing all professors to do that, you have at least one big assignment where you have to solve a problem. So of course you have the exams where they ask you A, B, C, or D. A. Okay, you have the typical. You will have that because we need to know you know the stuff. But then you will have always one assignment that is big enough to crack your head on how to fix a problem, where you need to get out of your desk and you have to talk to your friends, to talk to the professor, talk to whoever, to help you solve a problem using the knowledge. Okay, and that is in every single course. And then around 50% of your assignments in the school are team-based, because problems are so complex that you cannot solve them alone. So we want you to learn now here how to work with other people. And there you have people that are happy working with you, people that don't want to work during that week. You have to deal with many problems, so we want you to learn that. As your career progresses, you will need other stuff. And that is the time when you come back for the MBA. So I will not bother you with that, okay? But when you finish at 21, 22, 23, These are the 3 things you need to know, to have. And that's, as RBS, we are committed. You don't get the papers until you have that. It doesn't matter. If you can repeat all the books, it doesn't matter. So we want you to know the books, but we want you to know how to work in team and how to solve problems. Otherwise, you don't get the paper. Okay? And I make sure, and the management of the school makes sure, with all our kindness and love, that you get the 3 things. Okay? And we review all the course descriptions one by one, that you have the 3 things in every single course. Okay? Good. So what is our mission? Yeah, we are educating managers. So the people that get here, sometimes they at the beginning, they work in something more technical, but most of the guys, most of the graduates end up being project managers at the very beginning. So they manage projects, and then they manage companies, and they manage departments. But these are people that know the stuff and know how to bring projects all across the organization. So yeah, we train these people, and this is what we have in mind when you finish here, so that you are able to manage projects that can create sustainable prosperity. So we are very social. And you will see that from the very first day, you are involved in social projects. So we want you not to be greedy profit seekers. We want you to understand that life is much more than that. Yeah? That business is much more than that. So and remember, all the business has been extremely greedy. They bankrupt at some moment because they lose the soul. So by the end of the day, any business is about solving people problems. And we want you to know that and to understand that from the very first day. Good. Something a little bit more technical. You can study, and here is a big difference between RBS and other programs. You can study in something that is called discipline-based. So you go to university, and then you studied mathematics. You studied physics. They are telling me I have 50 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Okay. So that you study just one thing. What happens with that? You will know mathematics or physics or accounting or economics, but problems are not only mathematical programs, economic programs. So that's you know the topic, but you don't know how to use it in real context. Multidisciplinary, okay, I studied mathematics with business, but I don't connect both. It's better than the first one, but it still is limited. Interdisciplinary, here you say, yeah, I studied IT with business, but then I take a problem and I try to solve it from both sides. And this is what we do. And then you have transdisciplinary. That is when there are not more disciplines at all. And you only study based on problems. We don't do that yet. It will be too heavy for you to take that up. This is more for master's levels. Okay? So at the bachelor levels, it's this. And this is why you will have a lot of problems and a lot of courses that are quite confusing. Because it's not about the discipline, it's about the problem focus. Who do we want to come to RBS? These people. So we want people that have some level of intelligence, meaning that they have studied before in the school, that they just haven't done the school formally, that really we can trust. You will have a lot of good stuff here. We want to rely on you. That has some experience leading something, even something small like a party in the school. That's fine. That's great. I mean, nobody asks you to lead a company in the school time. And has some experience being a second or a third and knowing how to work in a team, not being the leader. Know a little bit how the world works. And Paula will explain, I think, about the Silicon Valley challenge. So how do we test these things? That wants to know stuff. That doesn't, that make questions. That know how to live, keep a level of energy healthy. And that people want to do stuff for the world, for the society, for Latvia, that really care. Okay, that doesn't care only about himself. And these are the skills we want to develop on you during these 3-4 years that you stay with us. These are a lot. I think you have the slides. And we really work on them. That you go developing these skills beyond the knowledge during the 3 years, or 4 years, or 5 that you stay with us here. Okay. Good. For those choosing the BBA program, is basically to create young business leaders that know the essential of business and in the future can create great stuff, creating companies or working in companies, it doesn't matter. And they will be business leaders in their own fields. For those studying IT, we are not preparing people for IT companies, though some of them will work in IT companies. But we are preparing people to lead digitalization projects, so IT-based projects. And they happen all across sectors. Now, we have graduates of the BBA leading IT projects. Yes, we do have. Okay? And I'm sure that when the Beetle, many of them will not work in IT and will go into more general business. It doesn't matter, okay? So, but what is important that you have the skills. So this is, and you have the curricula, and we come back to that with questions when we go more into the details today. So which are the difference in curricula, because there are differences between both, okay? So the guys finishing the BBA, they can work in accounting and finance. They can do management. Many of them are project managers and end up in more general management positions. They can work in HR areas. Many of them work in marketing areas. Some of them are already CEOs, so meaning the main positions. Many are working in banks and financial institutions, making sort of detective work to try to check who is laundering money, yeah? And many of them already have started their own businesses, okay? Beetle, we don't have graduates yet. Web, of course, you will develop a web in the first week. But one thing is a web of 500 euros, the other is a web of 100,000 euros, okay? So we go into the second, okay? The first one, you will do it very quickly. So, and you will have the lead professor in IT, that is Leo Celabo, where he will be explaining more about the IT courses, okay? And which are the different works, the different positions you can take. I have, for sure, at least 1 minute for one question. And I have a present. Or a challenge. Whatever you want to ask, say. Leo.
Yes, I have a question. My question is, can I have the present? Because no one else is asking. Come on.
Okay, I can give you. Okay. Is anyone with a challenge? Otherwise.
Can anyone beat my question? That's the challenge.
Okay, go. Can I have 2 presents? Okay, any challenge.
Well, I had a question.
Sorry,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but it's not regarding Beetle program, but I found that quite interesting that you said that lawyer position will be automated. Automized. And could you explain that? Because I think that lawyer it's a position that won't be automized.
I can explain you that. We still will need lawyers, that write the laws. We need the lawyers that write the legal strategy of different businesses, that understand, for example, how to make legally all the Bolt operations. So how it's legal that I send my information to Bolt, that I am picking the car, and how Bolt is using my data. We will need lawyers to think about that. And here is an important piece. And know how to integrate that into the Bolt software that for the customer and for the driver is very easy to use. So he or she will need to work with one of our Beetle graduates to know how to do that in a very simple way. But the lawyer we will not need anymore are the lawyers that when I have to buy a house, or I have to sign a shop contract, a work contract, or when I have to go to the register of enterprise and do the stuff there, I will not need anymore that lawyer that is charging for me 50 euros an hour to create those papers that are absolutely standard, and with any machine learning, very simple, put in, what are my needs and my wishes, and what are the legal requirements that come from the law, that everything is digital right now, can tell me what is the ideal contract. And I tell you one thing, I have been doing contracts with excellent lawyers and with average lawyers. Most of the lawyers are average, right? So the average lawyer charges you 20 euros an hour, the big lawyer is 200 euros an hour. The 200 euros an hour lawyer will always be demanded because he is the one that makes sure you don't lose a lot of money or you don't go to jail. And I want his advice, and I will always want that advice. Now the 20 euros lawyer, I always have to work, and I have a lot of work with those people, with one and with the other. And with this one, I have to do the work with him or with her. Because they know the law, but they don't know how to apply it to my need. Do you follow me?
Yes,
that is the lawyer
thank
will
you.
disappear.
Yeah.
Now for you the gift, but I will give the gift also to the. So this is a book I wrote. I have several books, but last year I published. I was in Spikes a little fair tale. Actually, my youngest brother was getting married, and then what can be his wedding gift? And I was thinking, I am very close to that brother. So I said, well, I will write to both of them, to my youngest brother and to his wife. I will write them a story. And then a lot of people like a lot, and Spikes decided also to publish it in Latvian. So and that's a gift to you. I will give to Leo as well. Okay, thank you very much. I will stay anyway for the, okay?
So thank you, Claudio. And now you have heard plenty about the school, so seems like you could use something a bit fresh, like not about the formal stuff, but something more fun. So up next we will have actually... Sorry? Yeah, more fun. So we will have Klavs, Sofia, Roberta and Christianis tell actually their stories. And we will, I guess, start with Klavs and then see how it goes from there. So let's welcome them with a round of applause.
Yeah, hello. Good morning. My name is Klaus, and today I'm going to tell you why I chose to study in Riga Business School. So before I applied, I graduated Riga State Gymnasium, and I also participated. Some familiar faces here. So yeah, I participated in Junior Achievement Latvia events, and that's how I actually first found out about this school. We had a seminar here. I met Claudia before, so when I came to the interview, the first thing he said, "Oh, you're from Mans Rajons," so that's how I know it's going to be a great connection with me. But yeah, since the 10th grade, I knew I wanted to study business, but I wanted to study business in an international environment. So yeah, I ended up here, and now I'm a first-year student in the BBA program. So why from all schools I selected RBS? It's, as I said before, it's because of the international studies. So, you know, we have studies in English, and I really wanted to study business in English because, like, the business right now is going global, and you need this English knowledge in order to be better than others. Also, I wanted to study in a growth environment, and by growth environment, I mean I wanted to study in a place that continuously motivates me to do something, and the people around are willing to do great things. So you don't just go to school because you have to, but you go to school because you want to learn and want to achieve something. And yeah, I also wanted to work hard because I didn't want to waste 3 or 4 years of my life, as I said before, just going to school because your parents want you to get higher education, but because I wanted to get great knowledge from great professors. So also, this school happens to be in a great location in the city center. And yeah, of course, the high-level studies. So it's been a little over 2 months here since I've studied here, and what I can say, we have a lot of practical work that involves projects. We have, like, almost in every course we have something to do in teams, and you really learn to manage the teams and working as a team, like in a real company. So we have exciting lectures in school. Almost every day I got bored in the lessons, and I thought that I would be that one guy that you see in memes who is also sleeping on the floor, or just I thought I won't be paying attention in any lecture, but like the lectures are actually interested, and that's also because we have friendly professors. They really want you to succeed, and thus they are gonna help you and do everything they can for you that so you can progress and become better. And of course, we have the greatest people around here. They're friendly, they're from different cultures, so you also can meet someone from different countries. For example, Sofia, she's from Ukraine. She's gonna tell her story a bit later. But yeah. Like the people here are really friendly, and for example, with Biddle people, we also have some kind of projects together, and you can also learn something from IT. For example, in my case, yesterday I learned what's the difference between back-end and forth-end. For IT people, it's like a common thing, but for me, what's just... Yeah, front-end. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, this is us, and if you have any further questions, you can feel free to ask me after the presentation. So thank you.
No, I don't have fancy slides. I'm sorry, guys. Good morning, everyone, and I'm so happy to see all of you here. Well, I would like to start with one question. I know it's a bit not relevant, but they allowed me to talk for 5 minutes. Is there anybody from Ukraine? Okay, I'm gonna stay lonely. Oh, wow. Why is not here? Okay, I'm actually joking because RBS is like a huge family, and you always have someone to turn to, and you will never be lonely. You will have a lot of friends, and to us, you will a lot of people who you can ask for advice and who you can turn to and ask for help. So okay, to start with, I'm Sofia, as you probably understood, and I'm in the first year learning business administration program. And I can assume that most of you guys probably are concerned about their future and about choosing the university, because it's actually the first real step in the adulthood, and you're trying to make the right choice, and you're hesitating, and to be honest, that was the same for me. But looking back now, I'm really happy that I chose RBS, because RBS, this is the school of opportunities, and I understand it with every project I get and with every challenge I meet, because actually there are a lot of challenges, and you will challenge yourself every day studying here. And this school is not the ordinary one, because Riga Business School teaches you how to work in the real business, and it shows the real business environment. You will work a lot in teams and practice leadership skills. And I believe that business is impossible without respect and cooperation. And you will learn these skills here, apart from different other important subjects. So, yeah, that's kind of it, I guess. And I will be so happy to see you all in the September 2020. So I hope you'll make the right choice and find yourselves. So good luck to you. If you have any questions, sorry. If you will have any questions, then feel free to ask me. I'll be here for some minutes. Then I'll need to go to the library because we have a lot of silence. I'm sorry.
Hello. Hello, my name is Krishan. I'm from Bachelor, and maybe before I start, you can raise your hands who wants to apply for Bachelor.
Nice.
Oh, there are some people. No, what I have to say that when I finished 12th grade, I thought that I want to study IT. And my idea was that I would go to RTU or LU and I would study IT there. But then I thought, is IT really something I want to study? And then there was this opportunity where I could come here and study not only IT, but also business. It was something new to me, and I really wasn't into business when I applied here. So I was not sure if it was for me, but what can I say from first 2 months is that I really enjoyed the program. And it's not really only about business or IT, it's more about how you study and it's more about what you do here and what you learn. And I remember when I was in the middle school and high school, I thought that I didn't like all the professors. Like, we all know that there are some teachers in the school that are not really nice to you, that sometimes you feel like they want to fail you. But when I came here, I can say that all professors here are really open, they really want to help you. And I'm not saying that because Claudio's here or because there are some professors here. It is really like that. I feel like they're doing their job not only because they are paid and they have to, but because they really enjoy what they're doing, and they really want to help you. They really want to explain you how you can do stuff, and they really want to help you learn more. They will help you and they will talk to you even if you have some questions about something that is outside the scope of the course. And they will really support you. And what I also want to say is that if you choose this program, I think you will not regret it because it's a good choice. And at the end, I would say that if you have any questions, you can approach me afterwards. And, thank you.
Okay, this one seems to be working. It's working, yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Roberta. I'm also a Bachelor student. A little about my background. I graduated from Agenskans State Gymnasium in 2018. Anyone from Agenskans here? Yeah. I took a gap year and I got a certificate from Riga Coding School in the basics of programming because I already knew I wanted to study computer science, but I wasn't like completely sure. So I took a gap year, decided. And I was going to apply for University of Latvia. And then around May, my dad emailed me with a link to the program. And he said, I think this would be really great for you. I think this is just right for you. And I looked it up. I applied. And I actually want to tell a story about my interview. I've blacked out most of it out of the stress, but there was one question that really stuck with me. I think it was Leo who asked it, but I'm not completely sure because, again, the blackout. He asked me, why do we study mathematics in school? And I was like, okay, I've been asked this question before. I'll say that it's because we need the logic skills, we practice it, blah, blah, blah. And he says, yeah, that's really good, but why do we have to study mathematics? We could study logic through other subjects like economics or something like that. And then the stress kicked in, and I didn't know what to say, and I babbled for a little bit. And then I was like, well, this will absolutely not do. They will not accept me in the university if I do not pull this off. And I pulled it together and I answered. And after the interview, I realized that it wasn't really about the correct answers to the question. It was more about how do you handle it when your opinion, your argument is challenged. And apparently I handled it because they took me in. So I will say that that is a necessary skill, but if you don't have it, you will likely learn it here. Another thing is, I wouldn't say I was shy in high school, but I was definitely not a person who was very public about everything, and I didn't really have a lot of friends. I had like a close few, and I didn't think I was a leader before I came to this school. I thought I might be, but I wasn't really sure. I will say the school pulls out of you more than you think you have, because the quiet kid who was in high school, she is now like organizing events and like leading the rest of the course essentially. So if you don't think you're a leader right now, maybe you're just in the wrong environment. So maybe you should just come to RBS and find out for yourselves. Thank you. And obviously the questions think we've covered. You can ask me everything, and yeah.
We're really waiting for questions.
Yeah.
Anything
you
questions?
We will actually have a Q&A session in the end, so you can figure out your questions. It doesn't seem like you have any. So think of your questions, and then in the end you will have a chance to just... Okay, there's already a question.
Okay. All right, it works. So hello, my name is Andris. I had a question. I'm a 12th grade student. It's my last year in high school. So really I'm wondering is, what are the things I should really focus on right now to get in BITL? What should I focus more on primarily? Would it be Olympiads? Would it be the exams? I would like to also hear more of your stories of how you got in here. What was the interview more like? It says that it's a Silicon Valley type of recruitment process, which sounded absolutely crazy. So I want to hear more about that and what I should focus on. Okay.
Well, the thing about Silicon Valley Challenge, I will give word to Klaus or Sofia, because we are first years and we didn't have Silicon Valley Challenge. So maybe...
Actually, one of our faculty is going to talk about it. So you
Oh,
can
okay, yeah.
from your perspective
Yeah.
and then we will get the
Okay.
technical
Okay, but from my perspective, I feel like that when I came to interview, there were a lot of different questions, and like Robert, I have a blackout about it because I was really stressed out. But what I got from the interview was that they really cared about if we were passionate and if we really wanted to learn, and that was, I think, the main goal of the interview.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
I would just add, like, be honest in your interview and like say what you think, even if you don't think it's like super formal or super fancy. Another thing is, like, besides the interview standpoint, if you're applying to BITL, it's not mandatory and anyone can come, even if you don't have any previous skills. But I would advise you to practice before, because the studies are quite intense, and then it's just much easier if you've studied before.
What should I study then? More IT, more programming, or should it be more mathematics, English?
Yeah. A+ answer from Sophie there, but
True.
No, I'm serious.
Well, that is definitely the
actually
most
a really good
important
answer.
thing. So, another question, if I may. So, are you in the? Do you have the stipendus? Are you here without like? Are you here? Are you, yeah, scholarship. That's the word I'm looking for.
This one is over here in a scholarship. I'm gonna have a loan, so that's gonna be fun. But
Okay, so
you will have to talk to faculty about that. I don't know about the scholarships and stuff.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And,
my last question.
I want to say one thing, that before I applied and before I got in, I thought I would never pay for studies, and I know it's easy for me to say now because I have a scholarship, but when I look back, I may lose a scholarship in a year or two, but if I lose, I will definitely continue in this program because I feel like this is something worth paying for.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the money.
Okay, a round of applause for our fellow course mates or schoolmates. They will be back in a short while, but now again it's time to talk a little bit more business again. So I would like to invite, by the way, I realized I didn't really introduce myself. My name is Roberts and I'm from the second year, so BBA 7, from the business administration program because we didn't have BITL when I applied for this school. So I would like to invite Justin Bancroft, if he's here. Is he here? He's not? Or maybe if he's not here, then we can just invite Leo and hope Justin will come up. Oh, he's coming. Okay, great. There he is. Okay, so I'm going to give the floor to Justin to tell his story.
Thank you. So we're here to do accounting this morning, right? Is that what we're going to do? What does this mean? Someone up there. It means left, right? It's called a debit. This is called a credit. And you should be facing this way when you think of it, because I'm facing this way usually, right? So some students get them mixed up and think this is left and this is right, but this is left and this is right. You see the difference? Okay? So that's what your first semester of accounting will be like when you decide to come here, right? Or if you decide to come here. I mean, to be honest with you, so I'm just supposed to talk a little about who I am and why I'm here. Yeah? The second question I can't answer. Okay? So, all right, my name is Justin Bancroft. I first arrived in Latvia in I don't really need this, do I? I need it? Really? I need it? Okay. Oh. That changes my approach. Okay. All right, so I'm Justin Bancroft. I arrived in Latvia in 1997. Okay, I arrived here in 97 for a job. I worked for a firm called Deloitte & Touche at the time, which is an accounting, auditing, consulting firm. We were on Stabu and Barona at the time. And I was a bank auditor. So I audited lots of exciting banks that no longer exist. Okay? Because there's been 2 financial crises since I've lived here. So I lived here and worked. I audited a lot of banks. I had a lot of fun. And I gambled correctly. I had a choice between moving to Riga, Budapest, or Prague back in 97. And I chose Riga. And I chose Riga because Prague or Budapest were big, huge offices with lots of people, and it would have been the same, pretty much the same as working in Washington, D.C., where I worked in a big office there. So I chose Riga because it was the newest office. It was exciting. It was growing fast. And I gambled that I could rise with the tide and get promoted quicker. And the gamble worked out, and I became a partner. And a partner is an owner, so you have to invest money in the firm. And I became a partner, and then I left Latvia in 2003. I moved to Budapest for 3 years, and then I got anxious. I saw what was going on with the Orange Revolution and things like that in Ukraine, and I thought, okay, Hungary, few million people. You know, Ukraine, 48 million people, huge country, big companies, big banks. And so I moved to Ukraine, and I worked there for 6 years. Now, During the time that I was in Latvia, I also ran the Vilnius office, so I commuted back and forth every week. I opened a Minsk office, and I won a project in Georgia, or Georgia, so I worked in Georgia. And it was my business training and my background in accounting that helped me do all those things. Also, I'm just a very nice person, and I manage people very well. And then finally when I moved to Ukraine, they put me back in charge of the Belarusian office and to coach the people there. And I actually audited more manufacturing and mining oil companies and things like that. Some of those companies, maybe you've heard about them in the news lately with all the corruption going on in the United States. But we didn't accept corrupt clients. But so I left the firm, or let's say early retired in 2012, and I moved back here to Riga because I always like it here. I'm comfortable here. So I guess that's why I'm here. You know, the November, I'll have to say, is the absolute worst month in Latvia. Okay? It's like the old joke, what's cold and wet in Latvia? What isn't, right? Okay? So, and November reminds me of that. So, seeing your smiling faces and the sunshine in this room makes me happy. So, do you have any questions for me?
Are you a
Oh, I'm a lecturer here. So I'm a lecturer here. So I have a bachelor's degree in accounting from Arizona State University. I have a master's degree in education, actually career and technical education, from Northern Arizona University, which is in Flagstaff. That's high in the mountains. They have snow. They have a ski resort there. Okay, Arizona's in America, by the way. I'm an American. Okay, I'm American. So. But I'm from Arizona, so we don't have accents. But I grew up wearing short pants and a T-shirt and sandals 10 months out of the year, okay? So I kind of like 4 seasons because I grew up without seasons. I am a PhD candidate at RTU. I don't know how long that'll take me or if I'll ever finish, but I'm trying it. And I teach here for a living, so I'm a full-time lecturer here. I teach accounting, and then I teach some other classes, but accounting is my primary thing that I teach because I am a certified public accountant and a certified internal auditor. And what certified public accountant means, I think in Latvian, I'm a zernāts revidents or something like that, or grāmatvedība. Okay? So es runāju slikti, es atvainojos. Okay? CPA is a license, which means I have a license in America to sign opinions on financial statements, and I have liability for that. So if I sign incorrect statements, I can get sued or go to jail, okay? And so I don't do that anymore. Teaching is less risky, okay? It's also less profitable, but I enjoy it, okay? I enjoy it because I like making people work hard. I like seeing those sad faces after my midterm and final exam. Yeah? And I say, well, if you had done the homework, you wouldn't have had a problem. And then after the middle of the semester, then people start picking up their game and start doing their homework and their assignments. So, does that answer your question? That was like a 10-minute answer to a 30-second question. Okay, 4 minutes.
I think that I potentially have to be careful with you.
Well, I'm very direct.
Especially with the homeworks.
Yes, sometimes I grade it, but actually, this is university. It's not high school. So it's not our job to feed you. You have to learn how to feed yourself. So I have an educational philosophy, and my educational philosophy is that as an instructor or a teacher, my job is to teach you how to teach yourself. Okay? My job isn't to, make funny faces and get you to laugh and open your mouth so I can stick the food in the baby's mouth, okay? Like mommy and daddy do. Okay? It's your job and your responsibility to keep up, to do the assignments, to do the work. Yeah? And if you do that, then the instructors here are here to coach you and help you. Okay? To coach you and help you, not to feed you. You have to feed yourself. So, and if you do that, you'll do just fine. Okay? And let me be honest with you. You're all here because you're thinking about going to business school, right? Okay? You know, I tell this to people in accounting that are getting 4s and 5s. I say, you know what? You don't need a business degree to be a successful business person. Okay? There's plenty of people with art degrees and music degrees and history degrees and psychology degrees that are successful in business. And for me, that's even better because then they hire me to do their accounting, right? So, you know, think about it. I'm not trying to discourage you from coming here, but think about what you really want to do. Because you need to do what you're passionate about and what you care about. Okay? I care about teaching. That's why I left accounting. When I was about ready to leave Deloitte, I looked back on my career and I thought about, did I enjoy the auditing, the accounting, the numbers, the finance? I mean, I enjoyed making money. It was fun making $500,000 a year, right? Who wouldn't mind that, right? Okay? But when I look back at what I really enjoyed in my 20 years that I worked at Deloitte was the times that I would go to training camps. As a big firm, Deloitte, Pricewaterhouse, Ernst, they all in the summertime use those to send people to training. And the thing that I enjoyed the most was working with the young people and training them to become better accountants and better financial managers and better auditors. And so I decided that I would change my career, and rather than go be an accountant somewhere else, I decided that I wanted to be a teacher. So I went back to school. I lived poor, you know, ate grechka and tushonka and drank cheap beer. And I did it. And so now I'm here. Okay? I weigh a lot less now than I did. Okay? But any other questions? Did I scare them enough? Just enough. So that's it. That's who I am. So this semester I'm teaching first semester accounting. Next semester I'll teach second semester accounting and what's called management accounting. So accounting is just left and right, numbers, how to put together balance sheets, income statements, cash flow statements, analyze those to figure out whether a company is good or bad or strong or profitable. Okay? And you use accounting then in your financial management and your financial analysis courses. So it's the core, it's the basis of all business decisions. So I, of course, think that my class is the most important one of all of them, right? It's probably not true, but I'm going to keep believing it, okay? And I look forward to seeing a lot of you here next September?
Yep.
Next September, with lots of pencils and lots of erasers. Definitely you'll need an eraser. And in my class in the first semester, we don't use computers, we don't use phones, we use pencil and paper, okay? Pencil and paper. Why? Well, because there's an educational theory that there's a connection between your hand and your eye and your brain. And I want my stuff to stick in your brain so you remember it. Then in the second semester, we start using Excel and accounting programs to save time. But first, you need to learn how difficult it was for people in the old days, which wasn't that long ago, right? Where they used paper. So you'll be using paper in my class the first semester. But that's okay. There were people that got 100% on my midterm exam last week.
Wow.
And there were people that got 20. Okay? All right, I'm done.
Okay, hopefully you all enjoyed that. So now Leo knows he's coming. So yeah, I'll give the floor back to Leo Seljavo, one of our other faculty. So here you go.
Thank you. Konnichiwa. So there are people who speak Japanese here? Are there? Anyone? There's a little thing going on in one of my classes that I'm teaching here. This is working, right? Okay. So someone, as they enter the class or as I enter the class, they say, let's say, konnichiwa, or in some other language they greet me, and I'm supposed to answer, so I guess they're trying to fail me in some way. And then I answer in the same language, and then I challenge them back. So it's quite an interesting game. So what's the moral here? So one of the morals here is that you, if you're a student here, then you have a chance to improve the curriculum, right? So you can bring in additional moments, additional fun in the classes. But then, of course, I turned the game in my favor, and then we all do Computer Science 1, which is programming and different languages and so on. So for those who know, and the rest as well, Japanese, do you know what makume gane is? No? Can I use a computer here? I just need a keyboard. There is a computer here, right? Oh, it works! Chrome, Karohohoma. Oh, look, there is a playlist. Chocolate, Spotify. Nice. Let's close it as soon as possible. So, makume gane, right? So we're not going to do videos now, but images is going to be plenty, I think. See? So these are rings, but actually it started out as a metalworking technology for weaponry, for swords and so on in Japan. Another similar technology is Damascus steel. What is he doing here, right? He's like computer scientist, but talking about metallurgy here. And art, perhaps, right? Why am I doing this? Well, how is this done first, right? You take different layers of different materials, let's say gold, silver, platinum, and so on, and then you fuse them together, then you band on them, then you roll them, and then you shape them, and you come out with these beautiful things, sharp things, efficient things, professional things that, you know, if this is a wedding ring, it lasts for a lifetime. And now my question to you, what do you think I'm talking about? It better does. The education anywhere will last a lifetime. The question is how much of it you're going to get, or in what way, right? Indeed, what I'm talking about is the education here specifically about the BITL program. Because what BITL is, it's different materials, different layers about computer science, about IT, and also about business, about management, about accounting, and all that. You get here, you get them fused together in your minds, in your perception. You get them banged with all kinds of tasks and exercises and deliverables. You get them rolled out, and you end up, hopefully, as a very efficient, sharp professional. And also beautiful, you know, marvelous. So that's what we are trying to do here at BITL. Who am I before anyone asks that question? My name is Leo Salavo. I am from University of Latvia, surprise, surprise. I'm a professor there at the Faculty of Computer Science. So this is another way of having layers and fusing them together. We have University of Latvia faculty here. We have RBS, RTU faculty here. And we bring in all the quality that we can get from these schools. And eventually, if you are part of BITL, you may even go to University of Buffalo and get the best of it there at the 4th year. Okay. Why am I here? Because I see the most potential here where I can give this education to you. Or rather where I can introduce you to the education, to the learning process. Because if you want someone to teach you what you can read on Wikipedia, let's say, oh, this is a pen, you can write with a pen, so that's great. It's probably not worth paying 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 a semester as a tuition. So that's why here, I believe, and in the best of the schools, people are being taught things that you cannot find on the internet. And then it's worth paying for the tuition. Otherwise, it's up to you to decide. Are there any questions to me? All right.
Could you use
I can.
You have to turn it on, so you have a bottom.
Is it okay? Yeah, it is. So I have a more technical question to you. The first speaker, I think your name was Claudio, right? He.
You better remember that.
Rivera, the surname also, I think was. So he presented this particular Beetle program and the other program that I don't know name of, and they simply were some bullet points about these programs, and the one thing stick to me was the algorithms and methods, particularly the programming languages that were there. And my question is, why such a cluster of the programming languages? Why such a choice?
Here's a news flash. This is just a sample of the languages that you get taste of. So at least half of them you're going to get taste in the first semester. There's a way more for you to taste and to get to know. So it's not necessarily the best of the samples. It's probably the first. It's the most popular. These are the languages, if you talk about languages such as Python, that are being used all over the industry, including Google, Microsoft, and any big IT company, and the small as well. So you get the taste of that, you get the proficiency on that, and even if you end up as a manager, then at least nobody can BS about that to you. Hopefully, if you have done your homework. Remember the thing about homework? So otherwise, people can BS you. And notice that above the languages, it was written algorithms and methods. So this is not the same thing necessarily. What we're talking about here, we're using the languages, and most of them you are learning by yourselves. But we're talking about problem solving, about critical thinking in the context of IT.
So it's just a tool to learn how to solve the algorithms and methods, right?
Programming languages is a tool. Are tools for anything you want to do with them, including arts, not just IT, business, and so on. All right, so I think that's about it before I get removed forcefully. Thank you.
Okay, so we've done. Is this working? Is it? Okay. So we've done a lot of. Well, you've done a lot of listening. We've done a lot of talking. Right now, it's time for something that some people are very excited for. Me, not so much, but that's why I'm gonna take the exciting people with me and ask them to join me on stage. And where is Klaus? Yeah, all of you, of course. You know what to do. And where is Klaus? It's a shame. He was also excited for this. Yeah, so what we're going to do is an energizer, because you look pretty sad, not going to lie. So you will have to get out of your seats and basically follow along. So not repeat with us, but do it with us, and we will do... well, you can just take example off of us. If you probably won't remember the lyrics after the first time. There he is, come here. So you probably won't remember the lyrics after the first time, but if you can remember them, just start yelling with us. And if not, just do the hand and leg movements that we're going to do. We can space out here. So let's all embarrass ourselves together. Yeah, I will put the microphone down. I have a wife and one kid. One day, my boss came up to me and he said, Joe, I said, yo, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your left hand. Hey, my name's Joe, and I work in a button factory. I have a wife and two kids. One day, my boss came up to me and he said, Joe, I said, yo, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your right leg. Hey, my name's Joe, and I work in a button factory. I have a wife and three kids. One day, my boss came up to me and he said, Joe, I said, yo, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your left leg. Hey, my name's Joe,
Joe, I said, yo, are you busy? I said, no. He said, push this button with your head. Hey, my name is Joe, and I work in a button factory. I have a wife and 5 kids. One day, my boss came up to me and he said, Joe, I said, Joe, are you busy? I said, yes!
Thank you, everyone. You can sit down. Yeah, congrats to everyone. I'm tired. Hopefully you have woken up. And now after this fun task, actually we're going to give the floor to SU members and the board and all the other good stuff. So, I don't know, will you come by one or all together? Together, then. Wait. All right. Sorry, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I am not seeing properly. There's stars everywhere. So okay, I'm very sorry, Paula. So right now we will actually have the BBA assistant director, Paula, who is actually also a student of BBA 1. So they were the brave ones who started all this. Oh, okay, here you go.
Thank you. I'll just go to my presentation. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so yeah, my name's Paola. I work together with Claudio with Bachelor programs. So my special skill is I make things happen. So whatever he envisions, I try to then do. And yeah, this is what I do on a daily basis. And yeah, this is. Oh, where did my picture go? Okay, so only this picture. So yeah, this is quite of a standard CV. I tried to put it in some usual format. So what is my areas of expertise? I worked in marketing before I came here. So I know quite a bit about that. Everything that you can know about events, I think. And you can never know everything about that stuff. And yeah, brand management and strategic marketing, that's what I have done. And now I'm here. But actually, why there is this picture? Because I wanted to tell you how it all started. You heard of quite a few stories today, and I wanted to tell just shortly mine as well, because I'm BBA 1, so the first group that ever came to study here in Bachelor programs. And how I actually got here, it's quite funny. I saw ad on draugiem.lv. It was cool at that time, yeah. People still used it. So I saw it. I came here to the open days. I was sitting, I think, in that corner there. And I just felt that this is atmosphere for me, that I want to be here. I felt initially that I think I could belong here. And I'm from a super small village. Roberts was saying in the beginning that he's from a small town. I'm from a village of 300 people. It's like middle of nowhere. So yeah, so this is me in the small village. So yeah, I was really happy that I got here. So what happened to me during these 4 years, actually? I studied 4 years. So I studied a lot. That's the first thing, and that's not up here. But other things is that I took every opportunity I had. So RBS will offer you a lot. And it's your choice and your decision if you want to take it in or not. And I really chose to do everything I could. I participated in a lot of competitions, went to a lot of company visits, and really stretched the idea of who I can be. Because I met all these cool people, and I realized that, oh, maybe I could be like them one day. So that's really a really cool thing that RBS gives you. The second thing is that I had a lot of internships. Actually, my first internship and how I got into marketing is that my marketing lecturer hired me because she liked my assignments. So this is how I got my first internship in marketing, and I stayed. I really liked it. I thought it's for me. I thought I can do things there. So yeah, actually, this is also one interesting thing about RBS that your lecturers, they work in a field and they can hire you. So you better do your assignments well, because that could just be your first internship or first job afterwards. Yeah, so it was also a really cool job. I had to go to festivals and advertise. It was inbox at that point. It was also cool still. So yeah, it was the best internship ever. Just go to festivals and make pictures with people. So I thought marketing is like the best thing in the world. So yeah, then I also had internship with Coca-Cola, which was a little bit different experience, but I really tried many things during these years. And then one really, really important thing for me, and the girls afterwards will talk more about student union. But for me, that was one of the big things during RBS. I pretty much lived in the school, so we organized all the events. I was here from 8 to 9, I think, because we started, as I was the BBA1, we started all the traditions that are now in the school. Maybe not all, they improved and made them all better, but we started the initiatives, and that for me was such a big thing, because I got to know so many people, improved so many skills, and it really opened my eyes of what I can do and how to bring initiatives to life. So I think Student Union is one of the best opportunities that I've ever taken, and that really showed me what it means to me to start something new. And I really advise for you to, whatever you're doing now, just try starting something, because it shows you really a different side of yourself. It's a really cool experience. And then fourth thing, what I did while I was in RBS, I really fulfilled my dreams. So I met so many interesting and nice people that were up to doing crazy things. And I always wanted to go to America. And then just with my course mates, we decided that we'll go in the summer. And we spent 4 months in LA doing random things, kind of a YOLO attitude as well. But I don't think I would have ever gone if I wouldn't have been here and met these people who were like, okay, let's go. Which city? And just like random putting a finger on the map and going. And yeah, so here you're in the environment of people with people who want to do things. And probably you will meet the type of people that you cannot meet anywhere else, and the people that will inspire you to do crazy things just because, why not? I think we can do it. So these were my 3 years here. But then I always had a dream that I want to study in the US. And when I went to LA, we just did some trips and I saw American universities in real life. And I was like, okay, I want to be there. And in RBS, there is this opportunity that you can go to study in university at Buffalo. And I used this chance. I went there for the 4th year. So what I did there, first I was in shock. I lost all the time. It's a university of 30,000 people. Like, I come from a village of 300 people. I mean, I didn't know where to go. So I had a map with me all the time of the university, always being lost, trying to find lectures. I was coming to the campus hour before just to find my classroom in the beginning. But it's like a huge place. They have buses inside the campus. So I was in shock for some time, but really happy. So what I did there for a year, of course I studied a lot. This is a picture of a law book under my pillow. I think I read it 3 times to pass the exam. So it was really intense. Yeah, but the good thing is that actually with this law class, at the end I discovered that it's supposedly the most complicated class in the whole business studies, but I just didn't know it. So I didn't allow myself to not get a good grade because I didn't know that it's like so hard. So yeah. Then I, of course, checked off some places of the bucket list. So New York, I spent my Christmas break there. I went to Harvard as well. That seemed like, oh my God, I'm there. That's crazy. So it was a really, really good adventure. Of course, made some friends and lived some moments that are like from movies with all the American football stuff and college parties and everything. It really happens like in a movie. So that's pretty interesting. And then I graduated at the end, so I have a UB diploma, and the diploma is equivalent as I would have been there for 4 years. So I think that's a really valuable way, like a good way how to get a US diploma, because you spent 1 year there, and if you really, really, if you really have energy and you're motivated to do many things, you can get experience of at least 3 years when you're 1 year there. Because my American friends always told me, like, how do you have so much energy? Like, do you even sleep? But I was so motivated to get as much as I can out of this that I was doing things all the time. And really, I think I got the most out of it. And it was a really cool experience. And then what did I do when I came back? I was kind of lost because I was so in love with life that I wanted to do everything. Like, I was interested pretty much in everything. I didn't know what exactly I want to do because I thought there are so many cool things you can do. So I think I can never understand people who say that they don't know what to do because they don't want to do anything. I'm like the type of a person who doesn't know what to do because I want to do everything. So that's my problem. But then when I came back, I tried some startup life, but I left because it really didn't match my values. And when you will study here, you will really discover that you will really get the feeling that it's important to be in a place that matches your values. And once you discover that it doesn't, you just have to leave on the same day, because otherwise you're just compromising the things that are most important for you. So yeah. Then I did some marketing for a law school, and that was interesting because those people speak different language. And it was a good challenge to learn to understand what they actually want from me and what they are saying. So that was a really nice experience, organizing events at ministries and stuff. So completely different side that I didn't know. And then I did some branding and trade marketing management at Unilever. And I think I would still be there because I loved the job if Claudia wouldn't have asked me, do you want to come to work in education? And then I always knew that I want to, but I thought that I will do it when I will be like much older, let's say so. I didn't think that I can do it now, but here I am, and I'm super happy, and I think it's really the kind of the same story what Justin said, that it's really good if you can critically look and analyze what do you like, and it's really inspiring to be here and to talk with all of you. So yeah, that is my story, and my motto is never stop exploring. And for me, university is the best place where to be if I want to keep exploring, keep doing new things, meeting new people, meeting smartest people that are in the Latvia. So yeah, that's my story and how I got here. But if you want to get here, then I will tell you how to do it. So yeah, Silicon Valley Challenge, there was a question on that before. So what is it? It's a very interesting admissions approach. It's the only one in Latvia like that. So what do? We take you here in school for a few hours, and we test all of these things. Your IQ, so how much do you know? Your curiosity, that was also what students said. Do you want to learn? How curious you are to get to know things? Your honesty, again, they said they didn't know that I will have this slide. So they said, be honest. Cultural awareness, social responsibility, team building, energy levels, and how much leadership can you show. And how do we do this? It's, how do we do this? Then we get you together with actually who are testing you. Those are companies. We are cooperating with companies, and they are doing kind of the same tests that they would do for their employees. So you have interviews, some group works, some tasks. So we will actually not tell you in detail what you will have, because one of the things that we want to test is how can you feel in the situations where you don't know what's happening, where you're not totally prepared. But if you have all those skills that I had on the last slide, then you will be completely good in this interview process. And then how it all goes is that first you have to fill the application form, and those you can actually find when you will be leaving and already take one and check what is in there, what you have to fill there. So what we will be checking there is your grades. So we put the most emphasis on English and math. So if you're thinking what to study more, then probably English and math is a good focus. But the one more good focus is extracurricular activities. So we really want to see that you have the initiative. So as Claudio said, that you organized at least a party in school, that you know how to get things started and actually then finish them. So we want to see that, yeah, you want to do something more than just go to the classes. So that's really, really important. If you haven't tried doing anything, if you have no extracurricular activities, I advise you to use the last months in your school, if you're in the 12th grade, really good, and do something. And just organize something, try something out. Then you have to write an essay, and I think that those are Claudio's favorites. Really put some thoughts into it, spend some time, don't leave it for the last moment, because we really want to see what you are thinking, what are your opinions, how you can express yourself. So yeah, that's an important one. And then recommendation letters. You will find the form of recommendation letters in the application package, but we just want to see what your advisors, teachers, NGO workers think of you. So yeah, just how you are with others. Yes, and then you submit your application, and then you go to Silicon Valley Challenge. And one thing on the way that we also want to test the level of your English with official testing like TOEFL. So you can do it at RBS, and you actually can apply to do it at RBS. So before the 9th of April, it would be good for you to do the TOEFL test to also test your English skills. So we have the one score, so we don't have to think which school is putting better grades, which school is putting worse grades. So we have this one single score for all of you for your English. So yeah, and then Silicon Valley Challenge. So the Silicon Valley Challenge will take place at 18th of April. So you can already mark this in your calendars. And yeah, be ready for that. So approximately 3 hours, but it will really depend on how many of you will apply. It can take more because we have to manage all of you. So what you can expect that all these things that I told, your intelligence, your curiosity, your ability to be a leader will be tested by biggest companies in Latvia. So you can expect some accounting firms, for example, Deloitte, as Justin was mentioning, some leading banks, top IT companies, of course, because they're scouting for you already when you're even not studying here, and some startups as well. So they will come up with the tasks. And those tasks would be the ones that they would also use to test your skills when they're hiring you. So actually, if you get in here and if you pass these tasks, you already know that you're on the right track because you have the skill set in you, and we will help you to develop it even further. So yeah, how to get ready? Try some interviews. As Roberta said, for example, there probably will be some random questions. So just you can try with, I don't know, your classmates or your parents or your teachers. So they ask you random questions and, sorry? And so what will you answer? Just to be ready for unexpected situations. Read some books, so you have more opinions and you're intelligent and you know things. And then review general knowledge. There will be one interesting task that I will not reveal really more of, but we will want to test you, what do you know about quite many fields. So just reading the news is a good tip, so you know what's going on in the world. So yeah, if you do these things, then you will be quite ready for the Silicon Valley Challenge. Yeah, and then if you feel that this is not enough of information, then come to Silicon Valley advising session, or even if you want to just get more ready and train yourself and hear more what exactly on each of the skill we want to know, then yeah, on March 21st we have the Silicon Valley advising session. So that's helpful. Okay, and then answering one more question that was already asked today, scholarship opportunities. So we have RBS Excellent Scholarships. So after you go through all of this process, so you submit the application, you do the Silicon Valley Challenge. What? You do the Silicon Valley Challenge, then we pick out the best, and the best get the scholarship. So yeah. Then we have finance and IT industry scholarships. They apply more for BITL program. So it's kind of for the same criteria how we choose, but it's specifically for this program as this program is supported by all of these companies. Then we have RBS basketball scholarship. So if you are playing basketball in quite professional level, then you can apply for that. You have to have good grades as well, but this is an opportunity for one student to get the full scholarship as well. So here we can see Elena, she got the basketball scholarship. And then Learn Business Bootcamp Scholarship. Emil's left, but here's one person who actually won this scholarship this year. So if you're in 12th grade, then you kind of missed the opportunity because it takes place in October. But if you're in 11th grade or 10th grade, then next October definitely apply because this is an amazing opportunity to really test if you like studying in Riga Business School and get a scholarship at the end as well. And then the last way how to support your studies is to come here and be active, and then you have a chance to get a student union scholarship. So it's 50% discount for one semester, right? Yeah. So maybe the girls will tell more what they want to see in you. So this is actually chosen by the student union, and yeah, those are the active people who are giving more to the community than maybe it's asked. Yeah. And then these are the tuition fees. Of course, it depends if you decide to spend the third year in Norway, because for BBA program, that's an opportunity. You can spend 3 years in Riga 2 years in Riga and 1 year in Norway, or 3 years in Riga and 1 year in university in Buffalo, like I did, for example. And then for BITL program, at the moment, it's there is one double degree opportunity. So you can spend 4 years in Riga or spend 3 years in Riga and 1 year in university at Buffalo. So BBA program, if you study in Riga or in Riga and Norway, it's 3 years. The BITL program, it's a 4-year program. So yeah, dual degree, yeah. Yes, and then just summing up, so why I think that you should come study here, because it's interdisciplinary education. So you will not study only business. Even if you're studying in a BBA program, then you will still have psychology, you will have our general subject. You can choose subjects from BITL program and develop more on your IT skills. So it's many different things that will develop you as a person as well. International dual degree options, of course, that's important. Individual approach, we are a small university, so you will always be able to come and ask your questions, and professors will really be willing to answer and help you always. International environment, I think you can already feel it today, that there is international environment here. And yeah, we have scholarships, so thanks. And if you have more specific questions, you can ask now, or always approach either me or Leila, or if you have some super strategic questions, approach Claudia. Yeah, so thanks. Any questions now?
Yes. I have the microphone, so I will.
I think you own it at this point already.
You mentioned that there are scholarships in BITL, but you didn't quite mention the number of them.
The number really depends on the year, so we don't have specific number. Actually, we just look at the results of the students, and then we see what we can do. But I think, if I'm not lying, then it's approximately 10% of the students get the scholarship. More?
This year, BITL has 50%. We got a lot of funding for, I think, 500,000 euros. So it depends on the company's support every year as well. So, yeah, guys, play the risk. And one clarification about the dual degree. In the BITL, you get 2 diplomas, one from the University of Latvia, one from the Riga Technical University. If you go to Buffalo, you get the third diploma. So your world will be okay. In the BBA, you can get the RBS diploma and the UB diploma, university. That is what Paula has. So you pay. So these are degrees, as you have been the 4 years there, okay? Or the diploma from RBS and the diploma from BI, Norwegian Business School, is one of the top 70 business school in the world. So you have them on your. So it's not exchange or something like that. It's really you are graduates of all these schools with all that it means in terms of alumni networks and papers. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eric. I wanted to ask about TOEFL dates. So in November 28th. So is it the only one to apply for the next year, or you can go to March and other?
Yeah, I think you can go to March, right? So it's you can do it in November and then also in spring. So if you know that you want to come here, I just suggest you do it earlier so you get it out of your way. But if you still want to study a bit, then you can definitely do it in spring. So yeah, there are several options.
And what about other documents? So we already gave them I gave them when I was applying to Learn Camp. Yeah, and do I have to apply essay again or?
No, so if you're a Learn Camp participant, then you pretty much have to do very little. So you don't have to do the essay again. You don't have to do your recommendation letters again. If you're applying for BITL program, you have to do the application thingy again, just because we want you to say that it's okay to give your data to LU and RTU, as you will be official student in both of these universities as well. But otherwise, then you're all set. You just have to let us know that you want to come to us.
Okay, thank you.
I see that you only mentioned the TOEFL dates, but if I pass the IELTS exam, no, get the score in the IELTS exam, it also applies as an alternative for the TOEFL.
Yeah. Then you can skip TOEFL and just give us your IELTS score, and that's fine as well. Yeah. Yeah, so both of these international tests are okay. We just do TOEFL here, so we give you opportunity to pass it for free if you're applying for our program. So, yeah, that's what we suggest. Anything else?
Hi again. I had a question about the recommendation letters you need to. So, which ones are more valuable? Maybe maybe say a teacher's recommendation letter is not so valuable. Is it good that I could get a sort of a field specialist to recommend me if I have done a Latvijas KZPD, and well, it's not really in IT, but it is a scientific thing. Is that a good thing to have? Is my question.
Okay, with recommendation letters, you of course can, if you have some specific things that you have done and you want to show that you did them well and you impress the people that you were doing it with, you can do that, but that's definitely not a requirement. My personal suggestion is to ask people who really know you and who can say real things about you. So if you did this research thing with someone and then you will ask the recommendation for a person who met you for 30 minutes maybe while you were presenting, maybe you did such an amazing presentation that they will be so impressed that they remember you and they can do a really nice recommendation letter. But if they barely know you and they just remember that you were, the smart guy, then probably it's not a good person to approach for a recommendation letter, because definitely a teacher that knows you maybe for even 12 years and has seen how you developed, maybe how you overcame some struggles on the way, and she can tell about that and tell about your personality, that will definitely give us more insight and will be valued more than just someone who barely knows you. That sounds good.
Because of what you said, actually, we look especially to the teacher's recommendation letter. And sometimes we call. Okay, so we really pay a lot of attention to the recommendation letter, and we especially rely on teacher recommendation letters.
Okay, anything else? Oh.
Can there be more than 2 recommendation letters? The minimum is 2.
Yeah, but I think the idea here is that you have to choose the 2 best, like two people that are able to give the best kind of a description of you. So you have to be wise about the people you choose. If you think there are 10 people who would give amazing recommendation letters, then think strategically, which are the 2 ones that will really say the best things about you or the things that you want us to know about you. So, yeah, I think that's it. Just think strategically. Yeah. Okay.
So does the recommendation letters needs to be from the school I'm studying right now, or could it be like preschool where I went for like 9 years, or does it have to be like high school especially?
We don't have like specific requirement what it has to be, so it's really your decision again. So you can make the strategic choice who will represent you the best, but probably high school would make a lot of sense because it's just representing your recent development more, and that's what will show us more what you're capable of doing here at RBS. But if you have like a really good reason why preschool teacher would give a good recommendation, and it's really something that represents you, why not? So we really don't want to put some specific borders on this. It's your choice, but think more about what we will get out of it and what idea of you we will get. Yeah.
So if you have any more questions, you can ask them in the Q&A session that we will have after some more people say something to you. So right now, I would, of course, round of applause. Thank you, Paula. So I would like to invite actually some members of the SU board, which is Lauma, Vēsma, and Anna. So let's give a round of applause for them.
Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Are you tired already or not yet? Yes? Yes, you're tired or not yet? So give us just a couple of minutes so that we can put on our presentation. Let me introduce us again. Hi, my name is Vasma, and I'm currently the president of the student union. I'm actually not going to be the president soon because we're going to have the elections, which are actually a really fun and exciting process. Just to give you some sort of insight already, yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. Yeah, we're not from the IT program, as you can see. Yeah, we're from the business administration. Yeah, we're currently BBA 6. So this is our third year for all the three of us. And if you have any, student-related questions, we have been here for almost 3 years. So if you have any questions, we can answer them most probably, and give you the real insights of how it is to apply, how it is to study, how it is to start, the culture shock when you come into a new atmosphere, a new community where everyone speaks English and only English. And so if you have any that sort of questions, you can let us know maybe now once we're setting things up. Yes.
What's the probability for junior to get into students' union?
Easy peasy. So I will go into more details on how it is. Can we hide it? Yeah, okay. On how the application and who actually is a part of student union. But it's actually really easy. For example, as I mentioned, we're going to have the elections next week, and for the main part, not the main part, but the organizational part of the student union, the board, we have, I think, three candidates that are from the first year already. So they have been only here for 3 months or so, and they're already applying for being the heads of divisions that we have. So it's pretty easy, but you can still, even if you're not a head, or if you're not a leader of a certain division, you can still participate in the division itself. So if you just want to help organize events, I don't know, make posters or something like that, you can still participate without being the actual leader of it. So yeah, I think we're ready. Yeah, good. Okay, so hi again. I have been, rambling for about 5 minutes or so. But yeah, we are the representatives of the student union, and today we're gonna tell you more about what we do here, what is student union, what is that animal, and yeah, let's just go right into it. So what is student union? Student union actually is everyone, and we in RBS encourage and we actually advertise that every single student that is here is a part of the student union. So those are all the people that want to make change, that want to leave an impact, that want to learn and develop their skills, and they want to grow as well. So if you kind of, think that some of those characteristics are yours, you're already in the student union. And it actually, well, if you get here, you're already of the student union as well, because we take only those types of people. And how we actually, operate. So we have the constitution, the big and important document regarding how we operate within the student union. Then we have the board. The board is, we are 6 people, right? Yeah, 6 people that operates the student union, all of the students, that is, of the school. And then we have the divisions, and divisions are the little small parts of the board that, are responsible for certain types of things in the student union. So, for example, we have the presidential couple, which is the president and the vice president. We have the education division, and Anna is from the education division. We have the PR division, and Loma is from the PR. We have also the culture division and the external division. So every single division is responsible for their own sort of things to do. For example, the education division, quite logically, is responsible for maintaining the level of the education here, seeing that everything is cool and nice with the students, with the teachers, and everyone else. And we are always, developing the level and raising the level as well. And for example, as Lauma is here, PR does everything PR related to our events, to our school, to the student union, makes posters, advertises, makes external connections with other, universities or organizations, everything that goes like outside of the school. And yeah, we have some, formal things that we do in the student union as well, apart, just from fun events that we're going to talk about later. So we have the elections that I already mentioned, which are really, really, fun and exciting because it's quite a drama actually, usually, and it's pretty fun to watch as well. And yeah, so we have these elections, and we also have general meetings. So as we see every single student of the school as a part of the student union, we want to be open, we want to be transparent, we want to, give you a chance to say something, a chance to vote for all the changes that we do here. So we have these general meetings where we, the board kind of introduces what's next, what's upcoming. If you want to say something, you come and say, you come and do. If we want to change something, we have voting where every single student votes. So these are kind of the official things of the student union, but we are more fun than that actually. And one more thing about the student scholarship, and Anna will go into.
Yes, so hi, as already Vasma and Robert said, I'm Anna, so nice to meet you. So yes, also Paul mentioned SU scholarships, but I'm gonna talk just a little bit more about it. So every semester there are 5 scholarships of 50% off the tuition fee, and so yes, it's granted every semester, and you can get it twice. So this scholarship is evaluated, and students who send their applications are evaluated on whether they have an outstanding contribution academically, also whether they are active SU members or just active students. And so yes, the requirements for that is you need 4 recommendation letters and a motivation letter. And as I mentioned, it can be granted twice. So this is a really, really great opportunity. Me, myself, and Vasma had 2 of those scholarships, and it's really nice. But also we are motivated by that because we do a lot of things, and we didn't get the scholarship only because we are in SU or because we are being active since the first semester we studied here, and now it's our last year. So nothing has changed. Further, as Vasma already told about the divisions, here are all the members of the SU board. It looks like that this year it's only girls, but it's there's a possibility for change there. But yes, so the divisions Vasma didn't mention was first one of them is culture division that Elvita runs. Culture division is responsible for organizing events and organizing any other activities that happens in school daily, and that Lauma will actually talk, and me myself will talk more about just in a while. So, and then there's another division, external, that is led by Aneta now. And external really is responsible for any outside relationships with SU and with some companies. So we are looking for sponsors for our events and things like that. That's like a brief explanation. So yes, this is one of the greatest events the SU and RBS in general has. This is a networking dinner. These are pictures, and the next 2 will be from networking dinner 2019. Yes, so I was also participating in the organizing team, and I would say that this is really the most weighted event. So the networking dinner is an event that brings together students and professionals from a lot of industries. So it's usually 50-50. So all students can talk with all the professionals. So as you can see, there are many tables, and and it's really a nice event. And this year we had 3 key speakers. So it was, we changed the location, and we had really nice dinner and nice activities, and we were bonding with professionals, and it's a really nice atmosphere because you can feel that it's really informal and it's really friendly, and actually those people are really interested in you because, you know, we are getting not much more like the population in general, so employers are looking for really good employees and for students, and they are really welcome to grant you like internships or even job opportunities even when you are still studying. And yes, so here are 2 more pictures from networking dinner, and yes, it's really nice and it's really pretty. So yeah, we really liked this year, and I think it was really a really great achievement for us. So, and Loma will tell you more about other events.
Okay, so hi, I'm Laoma. I'm from PR, as I mentioned before. So just to talk about few events. So on the upper corner, you see many smiling faces in white t-shirts. So that's our annual bonding camp that hopefully we will see all of you there. So every year, the SU organizes bonding camp where we meet all of the students that have already been admitted. Can you say? Yeah. So we organize an event of 3 days, and there are a lot of activities, and the main goal of this event is just to get to know you from our side, from the SU, from faculty, and also to give you an opportunity to meet your course mates. So then there is, on the bottom, you can see more smiling faces because our events are really cool. We can see our annual Christmas event. So we usually just have an informal gathering. So everyone just comes together. We have a Santa, we have presents, we have food, usually some musical performances and activities. So it's just a really like a small informal event where we have all of our students and alumni. And then we have the final event that we usually have at some like a bar type of place, usually with like an outdoor space. So it's like the final event of the year where we say thank you to the most active students from the SU. So we have prepared sometimes like some presents or something like that. We have activities, and it's just another like informal event where we all come together before the summer break. Then we have one of our big traditions is Thanksgiving. So we always have the turkey and we have the pie competition. So if you apply to RBS and if you become a part of our family, you will get the chance to apply to our famous pie competition. So you can just create whatever you want, and we usually have some fun prizes for the winners. And we usually make it at like some like longer break or like lunch break or something like that, so everyone can attend. And yes, and we do also like some little contests for other events. You can see the Share Love with RBS. So it was like this little contest for Valentine's. So pretty much we had I think we had like more activities than one. We had like this one like secret Valentine's thing where you can order like candies or roses or something like that and then send it to your secret Valentine's. And then we also had the picture competition where you can share love with RBS and share the cutest moments from Valentine's at RBS. And this was our winners this year. Okay, so in general meetings, we usually have some fun snacks that, some cool snacks that our external division has prepared. So we have worked with some pizza places, some also like just regular, just food, drinks, maybe some prizes, something like that for other events. But for general meetings, we usually try to get some snacks as well. So we have like this gathering together and we discuss all the topics and also have some snacks. And there's also another picture from our final party that we had at Colosseum, is it? Yes, this year. And we also have a little thing called merch or merchandise, which PR is responsible for. So this year I'm very happy to say that we have developed our merch a little further than it's been for the past years. So we did a photo campaign. This is one of the photos. So we have hoodies, sweatshirts, we have bottles. We potentially have more things in the future. But yes, it's just we give the chance to students, to faculty, to alumni, to everyone to have this little thing that represents a school, and it's nice to have. So if you become a part of our community, you will also have the chance to get yourself a hoodie or sweatshirt or whatever, and just show that you're happy that you're a part of this community. Yes, do you have any questions?
Oh, and the reason why we don't have those hoodies right now is because they are coming next week.
All right. So, I'm not going to ask you, do you have any questions? What kind of questions do you have? Yeah.
A question about where to live. Yes, well, if you're studying here, of course. I mean.
Yes. Well, she's coming. Are you currently from Riga or no?
No, I'm from Valmiera.
Okay. I would say within 5 kilometers from the center, it's fine because the public transportation here is really good. To come to here, for example, from Ugla, from Sarkandogava, or from wherever, basically. So it's really fast, but she will give you more information.
So hi all, my name is Leila, and I'm admission support manager here at Riga Business School. And the answer for you is that we have dormitories. It's here in our backyard. It's 1 minute walking, and. So it's if you walk slow, it's 1 minute. If you tired and still sleepy, it's 1 minute. And the back door is closed. Yeah, so 1 minute. I calculated. So one dormitory is here. If it's busy, then we can offer you a few places in RTU dormitories, which are in Kipsala. But it depends on how many we need, and usually we try to put all our students here in Laine, which is called. It's 1 minute walking. So we have some spots for students to live in. So you don't need to worry about this. Actually, the students, I think, stay in dormitories for the first year. Then you find friends, you yeah, because you find... Yeah, you find... Yeah. I will fix this, girls. So you find friends who you can share the apartment with, and you understand the city and which part of the city you want to live in, because maybe you don't want to live in Imanta. I don't know why Imanta came into my mind, because for me it's very far away. Yeah, it's very far away. And maybe you want to live in city center, or maybe you want something green and outside your house, and you want to live maybe in mesh parks and something like that. You understand where you want to live. The best thing for the first year students is to stay in the dormitories if you don't have any relatives here, and then you understand the city, and voila, you have your perfect place. If you want pictures, I can share it with you. Just come after the presentation, I will write down your email and I will send the pictures. The dormitories cost 200 euros per month. And that's it. Yeah. The RTU, it's 200 per month all the time. Yeah, same price.
And if you have a question about compared to apartment rates in Riga, that's really cheap. Yeah, just a little insight.
Yes, thank you. So I'm also from Valmiera, and I've been so it's my 3rd year here, and it's my 3rd apartment here. So if you have any other questions about that, you can just ask me. I have a lot of experience finding apartments to rent. So, any other questions?
Can we choose do we go to culture or PR or like study like the? Can we choose, or do you put us in the place where there's free people?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Actually, we have a lot of people that are in a lot of divisions. So there's usually in the first month in September, we have open meetings where you can just go to all meetings and you can see what the divisions do and like how it actually happens. And first year when I was here, I was actually in education division and in PR division, and then the second year I became head of education. So it's like, what are your interests and what do you want to do? You can just go to all of them if you want.
You have been here for 3 years, so you have some experience. And my question is, how harsh is the competition for the student union places usually?
In the board, or just in the board, you're
Yes,
like
yes.
becoming a head. Well, we have gone through. This will be our third elections, and it really depends on the year. Actually, like last year, the competition was really high. This year we just have the competition is not that high. We have 2 applications for 1 position. On all the other positions, we have only 1 application. So we can still not elect those people. We can still vote against them if you don't like them. Yeah, the stakes are pretty high, and like once there are more active people in a year, for example, if the first year is really really active, like if, for example, if the next the next BBA, which is going to be BBA 9. BBA 9 is going to be really, really active, then probably the next elections and elections after that are going to be really, really competitive. So it really depends on the year, what comes and, what people are doing.
I think, well, maybe you think that we have 1 application and then it's like an easy win, but it's actually not like that, because our students are very they evaluate each other. So we have applications which we publish before, and then we have election event where the students have to present themselves. So we have the chance to either pick the applicant or vote none of the above, for example. So if there is a bad presentation, if the person cannot answer the questions or whatever, then there has been some previous experience that the person does not get elected. So our students are not only picking, okay, you applied, you get the spot, but they actually evaluate the applications among themselves.
I am the older member of the student union, so I have seen all the presidents, even though sometimes there is only 1 candidate or 2, but really it's quite a lot like in normal politics, that there is a internal process of who are the real candidates that can be, and there is some discussion. And what I have seen is with all the presidents and members of the board, they are now in very good jobs. So it's a quite of very good visibility for the community. It's a very, very powerful community. Westman now is in Draugen group, so that's and there is a discussion, like who could it be, right? So it's not simply in the moment someone show up or completely out of the blue sky want to be the president. There is some betting process before, even with me as well. Right? Okay.
So, anything else? Just to know, from the student perspective, I don't know, you may have some doubts maybe, or you're not certain that you're gonna do well, or and you maybe have some that kind of thingies you want to see. No? Well, all right, I think we were the last ones, right? Yes. So thank you for your attention, and we hope to see you all in September, or maybe next September, actually already in the Silicon Valley Challenge, then August in the banding camp, and then first semester for the picture taken. Cool, thanks.
All right. Any question to Paula, to Leo?
Come on, surely there are some more unclear things. Feel free to speak up. Okay, where's the other microphone? Can you please pass it on? Thank you, Daniels. And also say who, also tell who you want to ask it to. We will bring the microphone to that person. Is there a green light?
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure who to ask, but basically my question is how many free choice electives is good to take on? For example, is it good to take on only one, or is it possible to maintain the many? For example, I don't know, 3. For example, sports, Spanish, and I don't know, youth history, for example. Is it possible to maintain those at a high level besides already given courses?
So I can answer this from my perspective, and maybe then some of the faculty can answer it from their perspective. So it's actually, there is like a schedule for every semester, so you can't just take any elective you want at that specific time. As you can see also in those sheets, like there's letters for either it's spring or it's fall semester, and like which year. So you can't just choose any elective at any time. But there is like the schedule where you can arrange it like how you want to take which electives in that year, or maybe you will take them next year if there's a chance. But as I did it, I tried to take as much electives, of course the ones that I think I need. I tried to take as much as I can in the first semester. So like, well, in the very first semester you don't have any electives, but starting from the second semester, I tried to take everything I can basically, because you will get like internship options or job vacancies that companies will want you. So as far as I see it, like how I see it is you should try to do as much as you can early on, because later on you will have many other things to do, which is mainly it could be work. So you will again have more time for work, be able to, I don't know, earn more money, or just have more development in that sphere if you think forward and actually do more at the start when you are not like that popular amongst the companies. So that's from my side. Claudia, do you want to add something?
I think it's a very good answer. So just, you will have something called the great calculator, and Paula will be advising each one of you, and also you have student mentors from the third year. So you have a lot of mentorship from Paula and from the students. And then you go designing your curricula, but what he said is actually the right answer. So it's as early as possible the best.
Okay, thanks.
So in the second year, I worked in like recruiting in a company, and we were looking for the young students to work for our company, and we were looking for like really good students that can perform. So looking from the job markets. In the second and third year, you probably will be approached by a professional that works in a company, and you will be asked, hey, maybe you want to come and join us, firstly for an internship or already for a job. So that's, that's just to complement what Robert's already said, and all of it, and also just to say that RBS students are usually really highly valued in the job market. So as I have been working in that industry, I know how companies are looking at RBS students. So that's a really good value for you to have, that you're a graduate of RBS.
Okay, thanks.
So I had a question more based on, I want to hear more facts as to how many students are actually here studying, what is the demand for both of these courses, not courses, but fields. I also want to hear why I should study here. What are the things you're gonna teach us? I mean, I see there's a lot of these courses, but I would like to know more details about them. For one thing that really jumped out when I looked at this was artificial intelligence, and that is something I'm very interested in, but you have not talked about what is actually going to go on into the courses, so I'd like to hear more about that.
Let's start with the last part.
So if we go through all the courses that we're going to teach, we're not going to finish today. It's not a five-minute question. So there is indeed a list of courses that should give you at least the topics. AI is there, artificial intelligence, and so are several other fields of sort of specialization. So we may, there are other things that are not even on the list. For example, we may talk about high performance computing. So I'm talking about the IT part, about the business part. I'm sure that, right, since I'm representing Bittel. But we're certainly going to start out by giving you computer science 1, and computer science 2, just to give you a solid background, right? And we're going to give you that through, we're going to start out with what is a variable, and by the end of the first semester, you're already going to have a web server and that's running your own website for let's say rating application for music and something like that. So this is just the first semester, right? And just one course, one field. We're gonna do things quite in depth, meaning that you're gonna have to spend time. There is gonna be load, but as Benjamin Franklin said, I think that investing in education gives you the highest interest. So if you want to know about particular course, especially from Bittel, then we can chat later.
Also, if you're like really interested in specific contents, you can just arrange a meeting with me, for example, and we can look into syllabuses, because what we have here in this university, in the beginning of every course you get a syllabus, which is like a contract, like students' contract with the lecturer, with the professor. So you know everything what will happen in every week. You know what assignments you will have. You know when will be the exams in the first day of the class. So we have all these materials. So if you're really interested in specific stuff, you can always come to me and we can go through and see what is in marketing management, what is in the firm, which is probably a question for many of you. Yeah, so we can do that in really details if you wish.
So for BBA, if you are interested about the course description, as Paula said, maybe after the open day, good to arrange a meeting with Paula and for Bittel as well, but maybe Leo if it is more technical like AI. Now about facts, so we have, I believe we have 170 students in the bachelor program right now. We are this year we admitted 70 between both. Next year we are still considering, so we haven't decided how many students we are going to admit. It depends on the number of faculty members we have that are ready to teach and work. Because for us it's very important that the ratio professor-student is very low. Okay, in Latvia the average is 17 students per one professor. In RBS I think it's around 5. So for us it's very good to keep that number at that level. And you don't produce professor, you produce mayonnaise. So not where we are sending professors to a state to spend there a year, and not all of them are going to teach here. So because you need really a lot of background at the technical level, at the skill level. So that now we don't make public numbers about admissions. So that's a policy. What we make public is dropout rate. And at this moment, so how many people leave the program, and then Bittel has started, so we don't have any dropout. So because it started in June, I hope what is already a success, because if you go to IT faculties at this moment, many people left already. So, but we have 0%, but it will not stay at that level, we know. So in BBA is less than 10% dropout. So Latvia average is 55%. So that is the real number you want to look when you choose a program. So what is the dropout rate? A healthy dropout rate is between 10 and 20%. That means that the program is excellent. So still on the 20% is okay. Okay. Now, when you go beyond the 20%, you have a problem there. Okay. So that's, I think, answer. Now, the Beetle program we started to announce in June, and we have 21 students now. Okay.
It's one addition, and then I'll pass to you. So if you also want to see more how life is here, we have an opportunity. It's spend a day with a student, follow a student kind of opportunity. So you can apply, and you will be able to just spend one day. We'll match you with someone who maybe matches your profile a bit from our students, and you can just go to the lectures, see how it's happening, see how the studies goes, what the methodology lecturers use. So yeah, just really have the real feel of the university. So if you're interested in that, you're just welcome. Write to the admissions email or to me or pretty much to anyone, and we will direct you in the right direction.
So when you asked the question about why RBS, so I just started to think about my almost 3-year experience, and I think this could be interesting for all of you, not only whether you consider BITL or BBA, it doesn't matter. You can get, I can give you my experience as a third-year student at BBA. So I think a lot about it because I'm also the head of education, so I think about education a lot. But what I can say is that RBS actually gives you it's a broad education, but it's really interesting because you look at all of the specific things that business actually is. And whether you don't have to know in the first year whether you are interested in finance or marketing or you want to start up or you want to work at a corporation or a bank, it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the third year or even the second year you will already have some kind of a feeling, because you will have these internship opportunities or even job opportunities that Vasma already mentioned, and it really happened that way. It really is, and it's also been that for me. I've been in 4 internships. Now I'm working 2 jobs, and it's really I'm exploring the job field. So I remember, I just want to tell you about my first year, really briefly. So I remember I had a financial course in first year. So I was kind of afraid of finances, but not really. I really liked math and physics and stuff like that, but I didn't know anything about, financing. So we had this one project for a whole semester. We were divided in groups, and we had a public company given to us. So we were doing this all analysis of the company, looking at 5 years of annual reports, making all these presentations and stuff like that. And, you have a feeling that, oh, okay, I know this. I, look at the lectures and I know how to do it. And then the first presentation came and you stand there and it's really, a lot of unkind words from the professor, like, are you serious? Or, it happened for all of us. And it's like, the market presentation is not done this way, or you don't talk like this with the investors and stuff like that. And you just sit there and you feel like, oh shit, sorry. And it's but afterwards, with each presentation you get really better. And now this year I really know what I have to say, and I really know how to make that presentation, and I know how to impress my professor. And that's the best thing of it. And actually that was the course I learned the most in this school, I think. And then came marketing management, and you really start to feel that you are kind of interested in marketing as well. And there's a really nice professor there, and you can ask him questions, about anything. And all these courses match up together, and you are this really nice and great person that comes out of this school. And you can do actually anything. You can go work in HR, you can go in banks, you can go in financing, or you can start your own company, or actually anything you want. This education gives you all the tools to decide, and it's the best thing.
Could I add one more? So when I finished my doctoral degree, I didn't want to join any university here in Latvia. But I have to stay for personal reasons in Latvia. So I was, teaching a little bit here, teaching a little bit there. I didn't want to join the Stockholm School of Economics neither. If anyone is considering, it's a great school. I helped a lot of bachelor program, but they are extremely conservative, for my own taste. So what happened is the RBS came forward, and then they said, well, we want to create the best bachelor program in the region. I like that. So because that means ambitions, you know? That means, then I was offered to go to Oxford to work there. That is, for my field, is the best university in the world. But again, I couldn't move outside Latvia, okay? So, but my choice in the region is Latvia. And then a couple of years after, the board of directors of the RBS said, now that we have 25 years of good stuff and doing, so how we can get to the Harvard level? They didn't talk about, and they told us, and don't say that the money is a problem. So the ambition is there, you know. So when you have that level of drive, so we are not talking about here doing small stuff, compare ourselves with the rest of the people here, and we don't care about. I mean, we are fine to help everybody else around town, but it's all about how we can get to the best. So just to give you an example, so we were 3 days now in Buffalo, meeting, a little bit of buffalo wings in the evening, and we have almost hours, a few hours only. So we said, let's go to Boston. So we didn't sleep almost. We went to Boston. We spent 7 hours in Harvard and MIT, building more our connection with these two universities, because it's all about ambition. I think we communicate that to the students. We communicate that to the professors. So this is a very serious place in terms of ambitions. And I think that makes this place really unique. Huh?
I wanted to give another perspective about faculty here. So the faculty here is quite international, not just because of the heritage we have. South America, North America, Latvia, who spent more than 10 years in America, and many others. But also in terms of the experience that we have had, I have been teaching at University of Pittsburgh, University of Virginia, University of Iowa, Hovde University in Sweden, and a few other places as well, right? And what we are bringing here is experience from all over the place. So that's one good thing. Another thing is we are working on educating not just students, but also our faculty. So the reason for us going to Buffalo for this week, it was to see how our next faculty is doing while they are being as students at the University of Buffalo, taking classes, courses there, improving their qualifications, looking at it from the perspective of students in Buffalo, and also from the perspective of how things are being taught there. What's the best thing that we can inherit and bring here? So I think the quality is also a good thing to have here.
In one bit? Okay, yeah, quick one. Let's go. No, we haven't.
Might be useful to answer that young guy's question when he asked specifically what he would see.
So the Ortus is the e-learning platform. So you have where you have all the courses, all the grading, all the submissions, everything. It doesn't look nice, but it's serious. Okay, so but you can talk to Paula and she got you.
So final last comments about that question. Anna also forgot to mention that our English has improved a lot because many of us came here with really almost none grammar or vocabulary, and you can really see, like, for example, there are some people that are already speaking like quite well in English, so those also see some development, but you can really see the development in the, for example, your course mates that had worse English, because as you know, everything happens in English in this school, at least the courses, and so that really helps you develop your English speaking skills and presentation skills, of course. So we have to do quite a lot of presentations and for all those projects. And another thing I wanted to say, which was already also for me, a very big factor that this school is like, if I think if you don't know what you want to do with your life, this is the perfect choice for you, because as we have already mentioned, like you really get a very broad view of like accounting, HR, marketing, and all these business fields basically that maybe in other schools you wouldn't really get. Maybe it's not as in depth as it would be elsewhere, but you really get the feel for you like get the full picture, not just one part of it, so you can figure out maybe what you really want to do, because they will give you the tools to actually do that. Okay, now that we've spent this time on this question, are there any more questions? Yes, can you please pass the microphone?
Is there a possibility to change the program? For example, if now I'm applying for 3 years BBA program just in Latvia, and let's imagine that I get admitted and then I finish my first year and understand that I don't want to study here for all the 3 years, but I want to study in Riga just for 2 years and then go to, for example, Bai. So is there a possibility to, you know, just change my decision on the program?
Yes, when use all, I think all the students that apply to, when they apply and they indicate BI or UB or the 3 year, all of them change their mind, and it's only indicative. So they have to, you have to make up the decision around the second year, second half of the course. So there is for us it's purely statistical, just to know a little bit the interest, but it doesn't commit you to anything. Among other things, because it's very dynamic, you learn what is your interest as you are here. Most of the people change where they really want. So some come with, I want to be in the finance, but they go to marketing, and also they get a cool company in an internship that is promising to them everything, and then they say, why I have to move, you know, and things like that. So yeah, that's possible.
A short comment is, if you want to go to University of Buffalo after the third year, keep in mind that you're going to have to transfer credits, transfer coursework that you have done here, and it has to be compatible with all the rules that are prerequisites for you to go to that program. So from that perspective, you cannot probably switch at the third year from BBA to BITL with the target of going to Buffalo. At the same time, you don't have to go to University of Buffalo even if you go to BITL, because you can finish the education here as well. Not out of the third year, but out of the fourth year. So it's not mandatory. In that case, maybe there is some freedom there.
Second year is there.
Question.
Almost everything.
So I wanted to ask a question. Okay, I'll start with the more simple one maybe. Like how much is the tuition for the fourth year at University of Buffalo? And regarding the IT side of BITL, what is the main differences between the syllabus between the BITL IT part and the computer science syllabus? Thank you.
Okay, about the tuition, Paula, you can check me if I am, but I think it's around $45,000, including accommodation, insurance that is expensive, flight tickets, everything. So the whole package is around $45,000 for that third year. It could be on the ranch, okay, and we certainly help you figure out how to do that, okay? And it's, yeah, okay.
And keep in mind that if you are going for that target, then you probably want to look up grant possibilities, sport sponsorship, and so on.
And it sounds like a crazy number, and it is, but you don't have to have it like in your bank account. Like how I went about it, RBS helped me as well, but then you have to probably take a loan for your study part, but then a big part is living, and I just worked on campus, and it's like a huge campus, it's like a city, and you can just work like 2-3 hours per day, some kind of random things, because they have everything on campus, starting from legal office ending to a coffee shop. And I actually just worked in a coffee shop between my lectures, and I just paid my rent from that. So you just have to be creative. So if you really want it, I think 2 hours in a coffee shop per day is quite okay. So it's just not say no because it sounds crazy. Just think how you can do it.
The second part of the question is BITL the same as CS? As computer science curriculum? You would have to be, again, specific. There are many computer science programs in many universities across the world. So in some of them, it's going to be not as deep as in BITL. In some of them, it's going to be way more deeper than in BITL. So really have to know what you're looking for. If you want to go deep into computer graphics, then probably BITL is not the place, or deep into quantum computing and so on, right? If you want to get broad perspective on what IT is and also practical skills across the board, more or less, then I think BITL provides that.
Of course, you can do masters after as well, yeah? You can and then go deeper.
Yeah, and the master doesn't have to be here. It can be in any other.
So I think we will wrap this up. As we can see, people have to go somewhere, and this is the end of the official part. If you have some more specific questions, feel free to approach any of us if you see them like right after I stop speaking. But yeah, the official part is over. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. Yeah, we can give a round of applause to everyone. And what can we say? We really hope to see you in the Silicon Valley Challenge. So see ya.